Hey, this is Rick, and welcome to Spit Take. I am here with my co host, Steph,
What's up, nerds?
and Adam is teething or something like that, and his baby hasn't slept, or maybe I have it backwards. So it's just me and Steph tonight, so this ought to be interesting because I'm a nerd and she thinks I'm a nerd. Um,
This is true. This is true.
we were just talking about before the podcast. Number one, I want to talk about Impractical Jokers. I know Steph, you said you haven't really watched it before.
No, I am missing out though. Well, maybe not anymore,
I
but
don't know if you know anybody that's a fan of it, but like it does have like a wild fan base. People just love it. But Joe Gatto, who is known for being, he's been gone for about 2 years now, I believe, and he's known for being the Joker that's like fearless. It's hard to beat. If you ever watch Impractical Jokers, the way it's set up is basically, obviously four guys. Well, it was four guys, now it's three guys, and they have a guest every week or something like that. But it was four guys, and so they're all competing, and so they have like an earpiece in, and then sometimes they're telling them what to do, and they're set up in different. There's different like scenarios and stuff they're set up in.
oh, you know what? I might have seen a couple of these like little
You've
clips.
probably seen one of the, not really the whole episode, but like just
Yeah,
like
like
a
a little
scene or something
clip.
like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's had me in times where my belly would be hurting laughing.
Mm.
My wife's uncomfortable with it because of the weird position they put people in. And so Joe Gatto has apparently been Me Too'd.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I guess he was at the bar, I guess out on tour. He's on his own individual tour. He's been individually touring for the last couple of years, and met with this 19-year-old. Granted, he's a 15-year-old or a 50-year-old married, and they were texting back and forth, and she's posting the texts, the timestamps, everything. So it's this drunk 19-year-old. I don't know why uh, she's, well, I was going to say I don't know why I drunk 19-year-olds out in the bars, but, you know,
Well,
that's not something I ever done.
college.
Uh,
Yeah.
but So he's texting with her all night, which, you know, a lot of people are obviously are having a lot of cognitive dissonance. That doesn't mean anything. They're grown, blah blah blah. But still, it is weird. I think it's weird that Leonardo DiCaprio just proposed to his 19-year-old girlfriend. I think it's weird that what's his name from Red Hot Chili Peppers, who's 60, is with a 19-year-old. I think that's weird shit. And I think I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want to get defame anybody and get sued by these billionaires. But
Yeah, they're coming after you, man.
you never know. I mean, we could go viral. This right
This
here.
could be the one. Yeah.
Yeah. But it, so she posts the screenshots of the texts, and then he asked her to come meet her up in his hotel room at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then she goes
Mm.
up there, and then she's showing a picture of her bruise. A lot of people don't like it, and then a lot of the feminists, a lot of people are defending Joe. A lot of the feminists are uh, mad because you got to believe all women. And Joe checked into a rehab
Mm-hmm.
recently, which I pretty much, I'm sure that means either he's a drunk or he's a sex addict or both. Uh,
Or it could be a PR stunt.
you never know.
Yeah.
Uh, they're not really commenting on it, and this does get deeper, but uh, I think the biggest thing I've seen from this girl, from this young woman, is
Mm-hmm.
she is kind of going out there and saying, "This is my time," and everybody's going to be looking at me now. Like she's literally like gloating on the
Mm-hmm.
video, and I think that's really bad look. when you're playing victim to a sexual assault. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying like, why are you getting cocky? Um,
Well, she clearly did it for fame, and she's getting it. She's getting her 2 minutes of fame.
and she's making it obvious. Um,
Right. So
even
it
if
didn't happen.
whether it was sexual assault or not,
Hmm.
she is definitely wanting the attention.
Right, right. Which is how a lot of people are now when they say, they point the finger and say, oh, sexual assault. It's like, uh, how much of it is true? You know what I mean? And I'm not downplaying it because there are victims, but a lot of people want attention, especially when it comes from celebrities, and it's easy to get now with all of these videos and platforms to post this stuff on.
And people are like, "Oh, well, a man and a woman get together," but like, I mean, just and a 50-year-old and a 19-year-old don't need my consent,
Hmm.
and there's nothing illegal about it. It's just against my own values as a girl dad with a wife, and he's also married. So I'm
Yeah.
looking at my daughter, and then this old, disgusting man praying. You know what I mean? It kind of scares me a bit, especially when she's been drinking at 19 years old. Now, Murr, who's known as, I think he's like the Weasel, they call him, uh, really weird one. Uh, he's had some funny moments now. Now, a girl that is sharing texts that Murr has been
Hmm.
texting her since she was like 12.
What?
I don't know if I got that right, but she's like 16. I know 12, like 16 for like years.
That's
He's
gross.
like texting her, and so uh, it's like just conspiracy of grooming, basically. Not that he did anything, but why are you texting the 16-year-old that's not your friend's kid? And uh, like it's just weird.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna look up those texts. You got anything
I,
to say about that so far?
I mean, honestly, like 19 and 50, like, yeah, it is still not the best look, but at least, like, a 19-year-old has more world experience, right? And, like, you know what you're getting into. She clearly knew what she was getting into if, she's parading these around, these texts around. But a 12-year-old,
It's 16.
okay.
Murr was 35. This was back in 2012 and 2013. I'm sorry. I knew it was over a couple of years,
Mm.
or it had something to do with a couple of years because it doesn't say what she said, but his reply was, haha, you're awesome. Once you turn 18, email me the same question and I'll be happy to answer.
So at
When
least he was sort of deflecting it.
um, yes, but he's also a 35-year-old man. But I don't know. Well, first of all, I don't know why he's texting her in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That's just odd. Number two, uh, it doesn't mean that like he was trying to do anything with her. It could be just like she asked him an inappropriate question and he said, "You're too young."
Right, right. I
So
mean,
I'm not.
I guess like a part of it too is like, yeah, I'm gonna think the best and think that he was just like, no, you're too young. I'm gonna go with that route. But also, like, it's an ego boost that these young girls are going after these older men, I'm sure. And who knows, like, I'm not an old man, so I don't know, but I would think, like, that ego boost would make you feel better, especially at that age. So it could have been innocent. He's just like, I mean, yeah, I don't know why he's texting her, but it could just be an ego thing.
I mean, I can kind of understand a 19-year-old, uh, but a
Hmm.
16-year-old. I mean, at least a 19-year-old's not 16. Uh, you know,
Have you
and
seen the 16-year-olds today? They look like they're 25.
I don't care. They're 16. Um, I mean, what's her name from Stranger Things? She's looking like she's 35 now. The way they groomed her,
Mm,
no, groomed her. Uh,
quote unquote.
So, okay, so this is what she shared. I've only shared what I feel comfortable with at the moment, censored for obvious reason. I was 16, 17 when I first reached out to say I was a fan. That's when he offered to meet and greet tickets on the night. It ended up being all access. I met him before the show for dinner and then went to the after party where me and my friend were given shots all night. He kissed me.
Oh,
I don't remember much else. So this is
yeah.
just a 16-year-old fan that he had dinner with, and then invited to an after party. Uh, there is no evidence of
Mm-hmm.
that I see right now. I'm kind of looking through the article. Uh, we met up again a few times when he came to London. I would go. I would, I, I'm sorry. Just being a therapist. At no
Mm-hmm.
point have I like, hey, let's meet up to my clients. You know,
Right.
and I guess that's the biggest parallel I can give. And I do have young clients, 14, 15, 16-year-old clients. Not even cross my mind, but just any client. You know,
Right.
um,
Well, but you have stronger morals and ethics then, where you
but
don't
it
cross
seems
those
to be a
lines.
thing in Hollywood.
Well, yeah, but you sell your soul to the devil in Hollywood. We all know this.
She said, I haven't uploaded the videos in his hotel room as my friend is indecent. His management and team were there. He bought me lots of nice things. Oh, he's definitely grooming. Gave me money for private taxis and things no adult would have been needing money for. Um, and then they went over topics like dildos, and he even said, I love you. They even said, I love you to each other.
Oh,
But this is all he said, she said right now.
right, right, right. Nothing's been proven.
So the sad part is, this is all. Oh, she said this happened all between 16 and 18. She said I was young. Uh, and I've seen the same things about P Diddy, with with
Mm-hmm.
with other people, with like other people being there and then enabling his behaviors.
Mm.
What was that girl with him and Kanye in the recording studio, and they had this girl cornered. What was her name? And then you never heard from her again.
Oh, I don't know. That's, yeah. See, you
Yeah,
know a
that's a
lot more
video
about
you got to
this.
look up.
I don't know. I gotta look up a lot of videos. But then I'm also like, I like to be in my little bubble sometimes, which I know you don't love, but
Nikki Heaton.
yeah, I don't know.
She was a singer, and so
Mm.
yeah, there's definitely a YouTube video of her talk, and it is very creepy the way she talks about it. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
one female there, and she's like looking at her, like help me, and then she turns around.
The girl did?
The
The
manager
other,
turns around,
uh-uh.
and then people just like weren't even looking at her, or looking away, and nobody was helping her, and she like backed up towards the door and just like ran out of there.
Oh
But
my
they were all
God.
like grabbing at her. Him and Conway were like, Kanye was grabbing at her clothes and stuff like that.
Oh, thank you.
Um, so I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories, but there's a lot of stuff about Kanye being all drugged up at this time. And
Mm-hmm.
notice him and Britney are crazy now. And also the girl from All That,
Oh, Amanda Bynes.
Amanda Bynes. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny sometimes this stuff kind of happens. But we're not going to get into the conspiracy theories too hard because
I would
uh,
love to do a whole thing about Britney because Britney's Instagram is my favorite. It
oh, I love
is.
when she dances with knives.
Oh, she just constantly is dancing and it's just like there's nothing there. I think that maybe she was killed and there's like an imposter. But that's a whole nother story. And a whole
She's
nother day.
got this. It's just she's got this serious look on her face.
Yeah.
Like I'm really into this. This dance is serious to me,
Yeah.
and it is sad because something happened to them. I was watching this video, Amanda Bynes video,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, and she is not the same girl. She's like, look at
No.
my wigs. This is my purple wig. I like to wear this sometimes. And then this is my brown wig. I think it goes good with my makeup. and she's like talking like that, and like it's just like that is not the same girl,
No.
you know.
Like, yeah, she was fucked up. I mean, I started reading or watching that series, that you guys, what it was it, the Nickelodeon one.
Yeah.
And I'm only a couple episodes in because I have ADHD and get distracted. And I was just like, what the hell is going on here? I was like you see her when she was young and excited and vibrant, and then like to see her now, yeah, that girl
Hmm.
went through some shit, and it's sad, and she it's just bad.
And then you see them happen, and see it happens to them when they're young, because all these Hollywood people
Yeah.
are, most of them are groomed into the industry. Most of them
Right.
started when they were children,
Right.
or related, you know, to somebody.
Yeah.
And so you look at like Drake Bell molested, and the what's his name, Snyder, when they went to court, everybody at Nickelodeon, or a lot of people, like a ton of people, like
Hmm.
wrote like letters of recommendation for him.
Yes. Yes, I did get to that episode, and I thought that was fucked up.
And I'm here like, how is Nickelodeon still making money? How are you letting your kids watch a Nickelodeon still?
Hmm. Well, because they're probably, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's what big money does. It just keeps going, and they bury, and but then you do see that some people retracted their letters. I think there was a big one that did it. Big player. I forget who it was, but she was like, "Had I known this, I would never have written that letter." It's not Goldie Hawn. It was like somebody like that with that status. I can't remember who it was. It's gonna drive me nuts. But like these child groomings and everything that you're talking about, actually, I didn't tell you. Or no, I did. We were texting with Adam. I don't know if you got around to it, but I started watching that Courtney Stodden documentary.
Uh huh.
There's only been one episode so far, but it was interesting because she was 16 and married what, a 55-year-old or something like that. Legally, her parents allowed it because they saw how in love they were. And like all of her, it's like her, she's like 30 something now, but it's like looking back, she's like, I wish I could have taken that girl and just been like, run, go. But like her parents encouraged it because he was helping her with her career, and then they fell in love.
I got more news.
Oh boy.
Joe Gatto did have a second woman
Mm.
accuse him. The second woman tells People that she first met Gatto at one of his live shows when she was 15,
Mm-hmm.
and claims that as soon as she turned 18, his behavior shifted, becoming very flirtatious. She was employed by the comedian prior to his departure from Impractical Jokers.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, so I'd imagine there is more, and
There's always more and more and more come out of the woodwork.
a lot of people, and you know, it's hard not to say. I hope Q and Sal don't get wrapped up in this or knew nothing,
Mm-hmm.
because they are supposed to be the awesome ones. But like, if this stuff is happening, it's no
Mm-hmm.
coincidence that two people on the same comedy squad are grooming teenagers from the age of 15, 16 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and talking about getting them when they're 18. When she rejected his advances or refused to flirt back, Gatto would be rude to her the following day at work. Uh, Nothing that she felt as though she always had to work to keep him at ease, fearing she could lose her job.
Damn.
The comedian once grabbed her upper thigh while the two were in a hotel elevator during a work trip. She moved across the elevator while Gatto allegedly told her he knew that he would make her uncomfortable during the trip.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
Well, we'll have to keep
so
up with that one.
the impractical jokers are dead. This is not good.
R.I.P.
Number
Damn.
two, I want to bring up Snow White.
Hmm.
That has been a big issue the last couple weeks. Well, it's been an issue for over a year. And I know there's a lot of wokeness and stuff, and people are distancing themselves from it. Even Trump haters are hating on this movie. Gal Gadot is not even being accused of anything for this. It's all Rachel Zegler, who was it over a year ago, talked about the Prince Charming being creepy.
Okay.
Uh,
Like like the actor or just in general?
no, in the story.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Snow
it's
White
weird.
was the first Disney animated co- uh, colored cartoon or animated movie,
Yeah.
and it was actually based on a story from 1833.
Hmm.
Uh, and the young lady was Snow White was 7 in that story.
No.
But I don't Here's the thing: they're all angry about this, about what she said, but I don't
Uh-huh.
completely disagree. Snow White was 14 in the Disney movie. Prince was
Yeah.
like 28 or 30, and he's like, "I'm gonna make out with her while she's sleeping."
Yeah, it's weird.
You know, I'm
Like,
not gonna. A lot of people might hate on me for that. I'm gonna get Rachel Zegler, uh, but it is creepy. Uh, but yes, apparently they changed a lot of the movie. I mean, mostly because she's not white in a Snow White movie, and they changed it to where they named her Snow White because it was snowing when she was born.
mm.
And
Uh, I feel like that was in another. I thought that's why they named her Snow White.
it's because her skin was as white as snow.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh my God.
there was a live action Snow White in like 1987, and that's
Hmm.
the only Snow White I will recognize.
Okay. Continue.
Also,
Um,
I often get that confused with Return to Oz, because I keep thinking about the Queen lady who kept changing her head.
I
It was
don't.
probably
I
the
never
creepiest
saw
part of the
that.
movie. You never seen Return of Oz?
No, I just saw Wicked for the first time, like not too long ago.
You didn't
So
see it when you were a kid?
no,
Oh my
we
god!
weren't a big Wizard of Oz family.
It doesn't matter. It was the '80s.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was dark fantasy. It was the best decade for dark fantasy, and the Return of to Oz was one that was just way out there. And I
Hmm.
was like 5 years old watching this movie, and this woman's like angry and switching her head out, and then there's like a rock monster, and then there's creepos riding on rollerblades that look
Okay.
creepy.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna pass on that one. That sounds a little too much.
Oh no, you gotta
Um,
watch it. It's crazy.
hmm. It kind of sounds like Labyrinth meets the Neverending Story.
Oh, it's so good. But how are you a White Christmas family and not a Return to Oz family? Because don't you guys watch good movies?
Oh, White Christmas is the best Christmas movie ever made. My family will stand behind that.
Probably in a dimension where Christmas Vacation doesn't exist, sure. Or
Okay.
Home
Well,
Alone, or Elf,
mm,
or I could keep going.
Alf
Scrooge.
is Alf. I am triggered by that movie.
Why?
Um, so during the Christmas season, I work at an elf themed bar, which actually went viral. So if anybody listens to this, you'll know what I'm talking about in Chicago. I bartended there like November, December, beginning of January, and I'm there like 5, 6 days a week. And Elf is on a loop, just constantly playing. The entire bar is Elf themed. We have a Buddy the Elf that looks just like Will Ferrell, and he runs around. He's a great actor. Um, but like, yeah, it was Elf. My life has been Elf for the last 3 years, 2 months out of the year, and it's a lot when you have to live it 24/7.
I love
So
that movie. I cry at the end of it every time
really, mm.
because they all got Christmas spirit.
Yeah. You know who
And
didn't have Christmas spirit for the last 3 years? Me,
why
because
would you
I
not have Christmas spirit? It's the best time of year.
because I worked in a Christmas bar and I listened to Christmas music every day, all day, and I had to be, you know,
That
people
sounds
are.
like heaven. If I was an alcoholic still, I would be all over that.
What I'm telling you is I had 16 specialty cocktails that we had to make, and they all had whipped cream and caramel and syrup and
Oh, that sounds
candy
amazing.
canes. Oh my God. Except when you leave after a 12-hour shift and you are covered and it looks like you were doing something else and it's all over you. It's not pretty.
What did it look like you were doing?
It looked like somebody pretty much jizzed all over me.
Oh,
Yep. And they did not. It was all the
you'd
whipped
probably get
cream.
paid more.
Yeah, shit, maybe that's what I'll do next year. Because I don't think I'm going back. So I don't think I'm welcome back there. But yeah,
Why aren't you
maybe
welcome
that's.
back there? What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I think
You weren't in the Credence smile enough. You weren't in the Christmas spirit. They're like, you don't have enough flair.
the best part was is that we had new shirts every year, and I had one that said "Smiling's my favorite," and I didn't realize I was wearing it, and I'm standing there. And I had friends in, and they're like, "This shirt is so funny. It's ironic." And I just have this like piss ass look on my face because I'm annoyed with everybody. And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And they're like, Do you know what you're wearing?" I'm like, "No." And it's smiling is my favorite. They're like, "It's just very ironic."
And you were like, what's the elf from Rudolph that's like angry all the time? I can't wait till
Uh,
Christmas. I bought two hats from this store. I'm not going
mm-hmm,
to advertise them
mm-hmm.
because they're not paying me.
Ah,
But I bought a Rudolph hat like this, and it's all
nice.
plaid around, and I can't wait to wear it on
Jesus.
Christmas.
Oh, word. I Yeah, I think this Christmas will be better because I won't be working at the bar most likely. So I'll get to like actually enjoy the festivities. But when you live Christmas every day for 60 days, you kind of want to hate Christmas. I'm not gonna lie about
I
it.
don't think that's possible.
Well, we will see. I'm sure we'll revisit the Christmas conversation in just a couple months. But I do want to go back and touch on, and I know we kind of talked about it in our group text, the Snow White, the creepy prince. Most of those fairy tales actually are very creepy because it's like young girls and these princes that are in their 20s, 30s, whatever, and they're, I don't know, praying isn't the right word, but like Sleeping Beauty, which is my favorite out of all those fairy tales. I love Sleeping Beauty. She's my favorite princess. But that story, if you look into it, is super fucked up. Like, I
Hmm.
think Adam brought it up. Um, he didn't just kiss her to wake her up, or I think he had sex with her while she was sleeping, and he wasn't sure if she was
No,
alive
not
or
the
dead.
original story. She was 16 though.
Was she
Uh,
16?
he wanted to take her because he did fall in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
The original story I've looked into. I didn't see anything about banging her. Uh,
Yeah.
but they brought her back but he did bring her back to the palace and ended up marrying her.
Okay, so I read this smutty romance. I think it
And the
might have
and
been.
the dwarves were begging him to take her.
Oh, well, that's Snow White. That's not Sleeping Beauty. But
Oh, Sleeping Beauty. Never mind. I didn't even hear you. Okay, so you're saying he banged Sleeping Beauty.
supposedly, I don't know. I have to look into this more. I'd like to think that she's an innocent and Prince Philip fell in love with her because I had the biggest crush on Prince Philip. He was my favorite. I know he's a cartoon. But this other version of it that I read, my smut book, I think it was Anne Rice that wrote it. I'm gonna look it up. But in it, it was like a version of Sleeping Beauty. But what happens is he wakes her up by basically raping her and then brings her back to his castle where they do all of these crazy sex things. It's like a sex castle that grooms you and it makes you want all these fucked up things. Like, listen, it bothers me that I read this book, but I couldn't stop because it was interesting. Um, and but it's like that thing where he wakes her up by fucking her.
Yeah, it's not Sleeping Beauty. I just looked it up. Just that far. It didn't happen. Sleeping Beauty. He didn't kiss her
Oh,
and they married her, but
oh, if you want a different take on it, read Anne Rice's Sleeping Beauty based books. The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty,
did they have an
Sleeping
anime
Beauty
on it?
Trilogy. I don't think Anne Rice does anime.
No. There's probably a fat chance I'll read it.
Well, well, I'll go fuck myself.
Cool.
Not really. I'll let I'll
That's
let
cool.
Sleeping.
I mean, stuff happens in a Christmas bar. You never know.
You never know. Um. Oh, but yeah, the Claiming of Sleeping Beauty. I think that's the first one. It's actually an interesting story. Um, but there's a lot of weird ones like Peter Pan. Um, that's a messed up book. Did I talk about this before?
Yeah, I think we've talked about that. There's a lot of like stuff about Peter Pan, like pirates or lost boys that Peter Pan didn't kill and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe
And
that was
like
like 2 episodes we talked about it.
and Captain Hook was like the first lost boy.
Yeah, yeah,
If they tried to grow up, he would kill them,
yeah.
or he'd kill them so they wouldn't grow up. And so
Right.
the pirates were all uh, people who ran away from Peter Pan and got away.
Well, and Peter Pan was like the angel of death, shepherding the kids in.
Yeah. Um,
Um, trying to think like what else. Trying to think of like other weird fairy tales that I'm like what was the I'm trying to think of other fairy tales now. Wait, we had Cinderella. That one I don't think was sordid. Is that the right word? I don't know. What are you looking at? You look like you're searching.
um, I'm gonna look for fairy tales with disturbing origins. Let's look at that.
Um,
All right, Cinderella
hmm
was the first thing that came up. If this thing would let me expand the dang screen. Uh, Grittier version. The stepsisters don't try on the slippers; they mutilate their feet to make it fit. One cuts off her toe,
Yeah.
the other her heel. So they really want this shoe to fit, so they cut off their foot to make it fit. Oh my god. And Prince only notices blood spilling out.
Because she
Uh,
cut her foot off?
yeah. They were cutting off like their toes and heels and stuff like
Yeah,
that to try to
yeah.
get their feet, the wicked stepsisters,
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
their feet fit to fit in the shoe. And the prince saw the blood coming out.
Ew.
And later, as punishment, their eyes were pecked out by doves. Uh, there's,
Okay.
there's a moral though. Deceptive. Deception and envy get you nowhere except maybe blinded and bleeding.
Okay. Well, there's that, I guess.
Oh, there is Sleeping Beauty. She isn't. Oh, this one says she isn't wakened by a kiss. A king finds her comatose, assaults her, and leaves. Okay, this is a different story than what I just seen. She gives birth to twins while still unconscious, and one of the baby sucks the poisoned flax from her finger, waking her up. The king later returns, and his wife tries to cook the kids and feed them to him. But the cannibalism was averted. He burns his wife alive instead.
Well, that's one version, I guess. Um, I.
I want to see that version. All right, brothers Hansel and Gretel, which this ought to be a good one.
Oh yeah.
Um, Parents, okay, well, it originated because there was historical famines in medieval Europe where parents sometimes abandoned or even worse ate their children to survive.
What?
Uh, so it's not a the fairy tale is a lot better actually. Little Red
Well,
Riding Hood. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Hansel and Gretel though. Yeah, wasn't it that they? You're saying in that version they were burned alive?
They were trying. Well, they were trying to eat the witch's house that was made out of candy, and the witch was trying to eat them.
Listen, I don't blame her for her choices. If somebody were trying to eat my house, I would do the same thing.
You'd eat children.
Yeah, if you're trying to eat my house, fair is fair, man.
Okay, Little Red Riding Hood. In some present tales, the wolf doesn't just eat grandma. He tricks the girl into eating her flesh and drinking her blood too. The
Okay.
grandmas or the girls? Uh, the woodsman saves her. She's devoured.
Okay.
No woodsman saves her. She gets eaten by the wolf. Okay.
Okay.
And now finally Snow White.
Uh huh.
Uh, the evil queen ordered Snow White's heart as proof of death. Oh yeah, that's right. And planning to eat it. That's right. So when that fails, she tries to poison her because she sent a huntsman after Snow White,
Right.
and the huntsman decided not to kill Snow White, but they wanted a heart, and he kills like a wolf or something instead, and brings that heart because in the Snow White was the evil witches, the evil queen's stepdaughter actually, and so she was jealous of her because every time she asked the mirror, it would say it's Snow White. That's the fairest of them all. And when she found out that she wasn't dead because the mirror told her that after she was given the heart of the wolf.
Okay.
And
I
told
I never really liked that whole story. I don't know. I never got into the Red Riding Hood thing. Although I will say I do like. Did you ever see that? What was it? ABC series where it's like all the fairy tales came to life. Um, God
yes,
damn it. Do you know what I'm talking
maybe.
about? What's that chick's name? I can tell you. Hold on. Um, what is her name? She was in. Oh,
Oh,
I know.
Once Upon a Time.
Yes. Yes. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so I
didn't
really.
watch it all the way through because I thought it was kind of boring. But yeah,
Yeah, and then it went into a whole nother spinoff. But I. It took me a couple times to get into it, but I like the way they did that because they dove into the stories in their own ways. But like it turns out Little Red Riding Hood is actually a lesbian and fell in love with I think Mulan or somebody, and which that makes sense. And maybe it wasn't Mulan. I don't know. But like I liked her in that one. Also, she was like spicy and Little Red Riding Hood, and that was pretty hot. But that was the only time I really was like, I like this story. But Little Red Riding Hood and Once Upon a Time was also the wolf, which was interesting. I don't know. That's my spinoff. I don't know where I was going with that.
So when she fails to poison and gets her comeuppance at the end, forced to dance in red hot iron, shoes until she drops dead, and then she gets eaten. It's the end of Snow White. The queen gets eaten. Why do they always eat people?
You know, times were hard. Everybody was hungry.
But like, they don't tell you. Think about this.
Uh huh.
All the stuff they don't tell you in history books. How prominent do you think cannibalism really was?
Oh, I think it was definitely very prominent back then because you have, I mean, listen, there was a lot of famine and there were a lot of poor people and like not everybody could like hunt. So they probably definitely ate people. Now, were they hunting people? No, but maybe if there was somebody that was like left on the side of the road that was dying, it's like that's free game.
I think they probably hunted people.
Well, there's still like you hear about that stuff, conspiracy theory. Here you go. Like rich people hunting like people. That's like a thing. That was in a movie too. So
It's in
maybe
a
that's what
couple
I'm thinking of.
movies.
Yeah, but there's got to be some basis for it.
Well, that's because that's what they do in Hollywood.
Right. It's a
They have
game.
secret kitchens and stuff.
Yeah. Quote unquote. But like, yeah, I mean it was probably pretty common and people didn't necessarily look at it the way that we do, you know.
Um, yeah, like it seems odd, but at the same time, you could have eaten human meat and never known it.
You know they say that pig is the closest thing that tastes like human flesh.
But you don't really know what you're buying in the store. You don't really know what you're getting in a restaurant.
Excuse me while I go throw up.
I'm just saying. Um,
I've been looking for a reason to not eat meat again, and I think you just gave it to me.
and they, well, I need to stop eating meat too, but I'm supposed to eat a bunch of protein. I was vegetarian, but I'll get
Yeah.
back to it eventually.
Yeah.
Um, but like, I don't know the math, and people
Mhm.
debunk it. But
Mhm.
think of how much meat goes out every day. How do they
Yeah.
make up for all that meat? It's billions and billions and billions of meat. Where does all
Oh,
that meat come from?
come on, man.
You know. Now, there's one of two things. Either not all of it comes from farms or what they call them, butcher houses or whatever, or they're completely, uh, and I know they aren't. They're completely inhumane. I know they are inhumane.
Yeah.
I don't
Absolutely.
like it the way they've industrialized it, but
No. I also think too though the reason that they probably get more meat is that you know, they pump it full of steroids and so it makes that much more, you know. I think they like look at the chicken breasts at like I mean, I don't eat here, but at like KFC,
oh,
those
it's
are
all
not
cloned.
normal.
All chickens are cloned now, and they're chock full of antibiotics. We are becoming desensitized uh, to antibiotics because chickens are full of them because of the way they're treated. Uh,
Wait, so I never have to take another antibiotic. I just eat chicken?
you're just like becoming immune to it. Like it won't work.
Oh.
So because it's literally they've like cloned it so much. It's not even like technically cloned, but it's
Mm.
so bad that like the chickens are like very fragile.
Mm.
That's how much they've been like inbreded and blah blah blah, because they're just chalking them out. So there's so the guy who did 30 days, which come to find out, the McDonald's
Oh yeah,
one.
yeah.
What's his name? Um, I think it's on Amazon. He's got one on chickens and
Really?
like Chick-fil-A and stuff like that, and it's really disturbing.
Well, there goes my meat eating days.
Well, if you
Honestly.
actually look into it and look what they're doing, yeah, like actually look at a meat processing plant. Actually look at they have them hanging upside down. They got the saw coming.
Yeah.
It's like it's completely disgusting if you actually see. Uh, I used to work at a work release program, and the
Hmm.
butcher, uh, what are they called, butcher houses or something like that. Um,
A
they were
butcher
like paid
shop?
the best, and they were trying to get all the inmates to go work there, but
Oh,
none of them wanted to work there
because you have to chop up meat?
because it's so inhumane. Because you're just killing. You look at this cow in your in the eyes right before you kill him,
Yeah, that's true. That's so sad.
and then and then once you, so there's I know it because I've met these good old boys. I've been in the army. There's people that don't even give a crap, don't have
Right.
any feelings towards animals or even humans,
Yeah.
would not care, would probably eat them raw.
Ugh.
No joke. I've heard these people tell stories that make me want to knock someone out. Um, and so there are people that are meant for those jobs.
Right.
You know,
Not me.
they just can't find enough of them.
Right. Hmm. Um, I would not fare well. I know
I
that.
think you should quit your job. I think there's one in Aurora, around Aurora.
Just quit selling houses and go into the meat business. Yeah.
Go into the meat business.
Go into the meat business.
I mean,
You,
you're halfway there.
meh, 3/4, baby. Um, you know what's funny is like for anybody that doesn't watch our YouTube, Rick, if you look behind me, there's this like dark space over here, and I
Uh
keep
huh.
thinking like this is a horror movie where something
That
just
would
like
be creepy if like I'm just sitting there, like if I'm just. We could probably edit this to where like I look away and then like a face pops in, and then when I turn back, it like goes out,
yeah. It's I just
and
keep looking, and I
we'd get
know
a
it.
ton of views on that.
Yeah, and then they'd listen to this and be like, those fuckers, they made it all up.
They'll never listen to it.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, we
No,
gotta do that. Does anybody know how to actually do stuff on the computer? I just had somebody. I just paid like $1,800 for people to make my website, so I know nothing.
I barely know how to use Excel at this point. I had to do my taxes the other day and put in all my write offs, and I was like, how do I create this into a table? I'm confused.
I will not do my taxes, especially as a business owner.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's
No, I
absolutely
go
horrible.
to if you do you
Well,
have
I
an
don't,
LLC or do you just work for your company?
right now, just my company. I think I'm going to get an S Corp. But I have an accountant, but I like try to make it as easy as possible, and I lay out like what all my write offs are and everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
don't do
just
my
put
own
it all
taxes.
on. I just got it all connected to QuickBooks now.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you're gonna wanna, your business tied to that though,
yeah,
because you don't want your personal funds tied to that.
right, right.
But like you just go in there and you just kind of type in what each thing is, and it has a thing where you can throw your receipts in there and stuff like that.
Oh
Which I'm
yeah,
very bad at keeping receipts, so
same.
don't don't come after me, IRS, who's been cut in half.
Oh man. Um,
Like
yeah, that's a
usually,
whole nother.
well, I'm not even gonna say how much I make. Uh,
Yeah,
I guess it's or how much my business makes.
yeah.
I don't
I
make that much. The business makes that
yeah,
much.
yeah. Same, same. It's like I get my 1099 form, and I'm like, well, that's not in my bank account. Okay, where did that go? Um, and then the government comes
No
in and takes everything away. So
federal taxes.
mine's all state, all
Well,
state.
that's because you're in Illinois and
I
Chicago.
know, I know. It's horrible. It's horrible. Um,
I'll be staying in Indiana. Thank you.
yeah, might not be far behind
Till
you.
till it's time to go someplace sunny.
Here, Texas is real nice.
I've been looking at Austin.
I have a friend down there. I can set you up. He probably needs a mental health specialist.
Uh, I was thinking. Oh no, I am licensed in Texas now. It's under
Nice.
my website.
Yeah. I
They're,
actually, well,
they're
I'll brief.
credentialing me still in insurances, but I take
Yeah.
cash.
I I actually had a client. She's a mental health specialist, and we were checking out this place, and we're actually under contract, which I'm very excited about. But it turns out the mom has a very advanced dementia or something, and so that she can't live alone. She needs assisted care. And so, we're negotiating. And then I tell my client this, and I go, yeah, the mom has dementia, so she can't be on her own. She's like, oh, fuck. She's like, full price. She's like, now I feel bad. I was like, oh, you guys. She's like, and then stuff. She's like, I was at my office, and someone with dementia came in, and she's like, and I was like, are you the one I'm buying this house from? Like, it was this whole thing. But, anyways, she's as funny as you are. I really like her. So you guys all have a sense of humor.
Sweet.
Yeah, got that going for us. Um, what else? I want you to start watching Traders
Probably not. I got
because
like 3 animes I'm watching.
okay, but Traders is great because it's all about deception. And it's like basically the premise is I think there's like 16 people or something, and Alan Cummings is in there, and he chooses three traders, and you don't know
Nightcrawler,
who they are. Yes, and
my
you don't
favorite
know.
character of all time.
Yes, well he's the host, and he's very like he's over the top, and I love him. But he
Because
chooses
he's
three.
gay.
Yeah, he's very
I
not
mean, not to say
flamboyant,
there.
but
That is one thing I want to talk about. But some of these gay celebrities are very over the top, and it's funny.
okay, he's over the top in this show, but it like fits, and he makes the show that much better because he's just like he'll be like sitting there, he's like, and so died, and then just take the picture frame and just toss it like fuck it, I don't care anymore. I love
I
him.
might watch it with Jess. I know she
Yeah,
mentioned it too, so
it's
maybe I'll watch it at some point
because she
or
likes
soon.
reality TV, right?
Um, she likes regular girl stuff. She's like watching all the Gilmore Girls.
But does she like watch Bravo or anything?
Not really. She
Oh,
watches Gilmore Girls, and she was watching Heartland before, which we met Sean Gunn from the Gilmore Girls, and we watched dude from Heartland who also voiced Gambit. Oh, and I met Kate Segal.
oh yeah, how was she?
I told her about I thought it was interesting that she was narcissist in that one show. I couldn't even remember the show. I was like, lie to me or something like that. And she's like, oh, tell me lies. I'm like, yeah. And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, narcissist. And she didn't. I don't think she even realized she's a narcissist. And she talked
Yeah,
about how that was her son. And she said,
yeah,
me and my son do not have that relationship at all. It's a very good relationship. So she was actually really nice because some of these most of the celebrities are pretty cool, but I think they're like when you meet like these celebrities. I don't know if you've met like how often you've met like a famous person, but or just being a fan.
yeah.
Um,
Not very often.
but I tend to run into them a lot, even not even outside of Comic Con and all that stuff. I tend to run into them. I don't know what's wrong with me because I don't leave the house. Kevin Nash hates me. But uh, yeah, she was really sweet though. Uh, 10 out of 10 would
she's
recommend.
yeah, she is probably one of my top favorite actresses. Like she just does such a good job, and her characters, no matter what, they just draw you in.
Yeah, oh
I
yeah,
think
she's so
she's
great. And
yeah, she's
everybody loves her because Rainn Wilson was there, and he like we were right up getting ready to meet her,
mhm.
and Rainn Wilson just comes walking up from behind the curtain to when he's like, "Oh my God, it's so great to see you!" Like I guess like he's a huge fan of her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she is. She's so talented on many levels. She's a fantastic singer too. If you ever heard her sing, um, but her
Yeah, I've watched
acting.
the one show was rules about my daughter or whatever. She sang in that.
Mm, she does a lot of the
10
tracks
simple
on.
rules to date my teenage daughter or whatever.
Oh, I don't think I saw
Eight
that,
simple rules. John
but
Ritter.
she. Uh. I know. Don't. I listen, Rick.
Between you and Adam, you don't watch anything.
I watch the same like four shows on repeat.
I
I'm not
know,
even gonna
but I
lie.
got you and Adam on this pop culture show, and like you're just like, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. It's like, oh my god. And
Well,
it's weird because it's like I'm a nerd who watches everything, and
yeah,
people are probably like, well, that's because they have lives, and
this
I'm
is
like,
true.
well, that's probably true. Uh, but you need to. How have you not watched Eight Simple Rules with what's her name, Kaylee Kuko, when she was
No,
like, she's Penny in
I know who she is. I
okay,
have seen The Big Bang Theory.
yeah, Big Bang Theory. Which that isn't one thing I want to bring up. Uh, they're doing a spin off of Big Bang Theory,
Oh, geez,
and it's of the two worst characters.
which ones?
Um, it's Stuart and
Okay.
Stuart Bloom, who like owned the comic book store,
Yeah.
and Howard Wolowitz.
Oh, I loved Howard.
But like him and Stuart having their own show, it's like
Yeah, I mean, how is that gonna work out?
that isn't. That's like I don't know. It just seems odd
Mhm.
because they seem like annoying characters. So you're gonna make the annoying characters your main characters.
Yeah, but it may work out. They might have like give them a lot of depth and backstory. You know what I mean? Are we gonna see Howard's mom though?
Um, Probably, but like yeah, I guess because Young Sheldon ended,
Mhm.
which actually is popular among kids, like
Really?
around my daughter's age, because they had an actress that was in the show at Comic Con, and they had a big line of like younger kids that went to meet her.
Hmm. Interesting. My eye
And
is like
what's that?
my eye is killing me. Sorry if you're like watching me throw eye drops in every 2 minutes. Ugh.
And just a couple things I want to mention. I know
Yeah.
you want. I know we don't got too much time left. I
Yeah.
know you wanted to mention the National Lampoon doc.
Yeah, and I might wait for all three of us to be back on, but I highly recommend watching it. It was a last minute pickup, and I can't remember the name of it because now it's gone.
Drunk, Stone, Brilliant, Dead.
Maybe
The one from
I don't know if
2015, or is it new?
no, this was I think this is newer. Um, but if you say the name, I'll know it. I just can't see right now, so I
Futile
can't.
and Stupid Gesture.
Yes, that one. Um, it was fascinating, especially as someone who
2018.
does doesn't. Oh, was it 2018? No, that was more recent. But I don't really know much about the background of National
Is it
Lampoons.
a documentary or a show
It was a
or a movie?
documentary, or it was a movie. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
it
this
wasn't
is
a
a
document.
movie.
It was a movie, um, but it was filmed like a documentary, kind of. Um, I love Animal House, and I do love Christmas Vacation. I
Greatest
love the
Christmas movie ever.
I love the American Pies, Van Wilder, all that, right? Um, but I don't know like where it started from, and it shows like where they started from and the progression and
Yeah,
how
it's like a
crazy it
magazine.
got. Yeah, and like I just thought it was very well done. It was very funny, but it also shows like the deterioration of somebody as they get more and more famous. You would probably like it because it does touch on a lot of like mental health issues that the main guy had. So I just say I would recommend it. It has a lot of funny moments. It had a lot of really famous people in it too.
Yeah.
Um, they had a lot of like recreations of like Caddyshack. Like he was freaking out. He's like Caddyshack's going to be the worst movie ever. Turns out it was like it's a cult classic. So definitely would tell you guys to watch it, even though I know it's old. I didn't know it was old, but I know it's old now.
Well, I don't care if it's old. Um, I I think I have watched it, but I could rewatch it because it's been a long
Hmm.
time. But I do remember. I
It
think I
takes
do
a
kind of
lot.
remember.
Yeah, like it takes a lot to suck me into a movie and get me to pay attention fully. But this one, like, I actually put my phone down and was like invested in. Definitely would say that. Now I am rewatching Secret Life of an American Teenager, and it's awful. But I keep rewatching it because it's just so poor, so bad. Don't watch that. It's
I'm
bad.
not gonna watch it.
Yeah, you'll like hate yourself and me.
But what I did start watching is an anime that's huge right now called
Mm-hmm.
Solo Leveling.
Okay.
And so apparently, it's really. I watched probably like the first 4 episodes of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. What I've watched so far. So
Uh
it's
huh.
basically like 10 years ago, this portal came, and then like these monsters from another dimensions came out of this portal, and then people started wait. Certain people started getting superpowers. Kind of like X Men.
Mm-hmm.
But like their superpowers awoke, and so and the powers are ranked S A B C D E. So S being the most powerful, E being like that's not really you're not going to do much with that. And
Mm-hmm.
so they kind of rank it all. And so this guy, uh, come to find out, so once you have that power, you're stuck at that level.
Okay.
He ends up being able to power up to, so he uh, keeps going on these missions and stuff, but he is
Yeah.
able to actually increase his power. So he can go. He's like a level E, and now he's like moved up to a level D. They're like, well, only certain people can do that. It's not very. It's very not very many. It's like 1 in a million. And he was like called the world's weakest superhero or world's weakest whatever they call them. I think they call them hunters.
Okay.
And so they're all fighting these monsters that came from another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I started watching it. It's okay, but apparently it's the biggest anime in the world right now. They're like 24 episodes in.
I'm gonna take your word on that one. I cannot get into the anime. I have
Anime
limits.
is probably better than any show you ever watch.
I'm gonna say probably not. But you know what? To
No,
each
it
their
it
own,
is.
Rick.
How can you know if you never watched it? Watch
I
some
don't want to.
Naruto.
It's just weird. It's just weird. It's just, it reminds me of weird furry people. And
Weird furry people.
I don't know. I just associate animes with furries.
It's animated movies and shows. There's no like specific. There's different genres of it. It's
Yeah.
like where you have like a romance movie or a superhero movie. They have romance anime and they have superhero anime and you know, they have
Yeah,
different genres of the anime.
I don't think you're gonna win this war, nerd.
I'm telling you, you want to level
Yeah.
up, watch Solo Leveling.
I'm
Okay,
good.
that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a good try.
Hey, I'm like 860 episodes into One Piece. I'm gonna catch up this weekend.
Mm, God, I can barely even fathom that, but okay, you do that.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, watch the live action One Piece. It's on Netflix. There's like 8 episodes
How many
on
times do
the
I have to
first
tell you?
season.
I don't have the Netflix.
Just watch it on your friend's Netflix.
I can go to Steve's and use his Netflix. I don't think he's gonna like that I put anime on there.
It's a live action. It's action. It's not anime. It's a live action version.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I thought you
Probably
said he
not.
was a nerd.
Yeah, he doesn't watch anime.
Then he's not a nerd.
He's a cool nerd.
There's no such thing.
There is. You have the cool nerds, and then you have like the nerd
No,
nerds.
you got posers, and then you got the nerds, and then you got the posers of the jocks. Then
Mm-hmm.
there's different. There's levels.
There's a hierarchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this isn't anime. It's based on anime. It's live action. My wife
Mm-hmm.
watched it with me, and she actually liked it.
Yeah.
Just look up One Piece live action. It's not an anime.
Okay.
It's based on it. It's actually really good.
Okay.
It's about pirates.
I do like pirates. Does it have
Okay.
Johnny Depp?
I think it's about time to wrap it up. Any other
Yes.
thoughts?
No. I'm sorry that Adam was not here to give his little one-liners. But as you said, he's teething, so
I
you
hope his
may do
baby
with
gets sleep.
us. Yep, he had to get the baby to sleep. But hopefully, all three of us will be back next week. I know in 2 weeks I'll be in Arizona, but on a Tuesday, so you might only get us. You might only get the three-way
I just
for
heard
one.
three-way.
Eh.
Um, all right. Well, thanks for watching or listening to our show. And you can catch us on YouTube, sometimes on TikTok. Sometimes I post on TikTok. I think I post something about Invincible, calling it the greatest show on TV right now. Some people disagreed because there's a lot between that and Severance. And potatoes potato. But like if we're talking about straight up shows, Severance and Invincible are probably the best shows right now. But Invincible's number one. Have you seen Invincible?
I'm gonna let you answer that yourself.
Have you seen Severance?
I've seen a couple episodes of Severance.
Okay. Well, Invincible is probably the best show on TV right now.
Okay.
So, anyways, yeah, catch us on stuff, spit take, and level up, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh my god.
I'm so tired.